I live in a very remote place in India in the northeast, at the foothills of the Himalayas, and I came across Open Doors when I accessed the internet because I wanted to take a degree in teacher's training. And when I accessed the net, the first institute that came up on the screen and flashed on the screen was Open Doors. And I immediately sent you an email, and it was very, very promptly answered. And I felt I should now really work hard in order to get into this program. And I started corresponding with you through the net, and ultimately made my way through and came up to England to complete the course. But the best part of it is, in spite of so many hurdles and difficulties that I had my existing profession where I teach kids English. And because of the lack of resources in my family, I really had to make some very good effort to gather up enough money and fulfill my life's dream and realization. And it has been a 5 weeks of intensive course, and it just went very quickly with so many things that now I have in my bag to carry back home, in terms of metaphorically, in terms of knowledge, how to be a better teacher, to equip myself in the perfect possible way to provide my students there as much as I can. And I'm indebted to this institute and to Trinity for providing me this opportunity to do what I'm doing now.
What were some of the hurdles that you had to overcome, PRIYADARSHI?
Social hurdles, obligations in the family, expenses, and different types of hardships that I had to go through all throughout my childhood, because it was not a very affluent life that I had. I had a comfortable life but not a very affluent one. And I was always supported by my parents, by my relatives, and everybody who happened to be near me. So it was always a struggle to be the very best, always a struggle to stand out among thousands who were as capable as I happened to be. And I always wanted to be the very best, wanted to realize my dreams and become someone who would at least do something for the society, to guide people in the right way, to tell them that yes, sky is the limit. And you cannot just restrict your perspective to a small town or to a small village or to a small place. You need to broaden up your perspective and then go and exploit every other resource that you have in order to be successful. So that is what I've gained.
So what are you going to do now that you've achieved this aim?
I'll go back and teach the kids there, and I will use some of the things that I've learned from here. In fact, every other thing that I did learn from here, I want to go up and share it with all the students that I have. And the mold that I was brought up in, the educational system that I was brought up in, it is in a way not appropriate in today's competitive world. That is what I have learned from this course, and I believe that when I go back, I can show students different ways of attaining education, pursuing their interests, their dreams, and in a very innovative way where I could involve them in activities and they can involve themselves in in different kinds of activities which would help them to be a better person tomorrow.
Okay. And you've told me that you've made some observations about things that India could learn from the UK, and that UK could also learn from India.
Yes. You know, we have a very high regard towards education. For us, education is almost like our religion. It's a kind of a worship, because we have always been told that it is education, and it is through only education that we can realize all our dreams. And, you know, hopefully stand up in life. But out here in UK, I do find that there is a lack of, respect, we can call it reverence, acknowledgement of the beautiful education system that is here, which always targets a student's perfection in terms of his interests and priorities. But in India, we just need a small little platform where we can stand on, and that would be a launching pad for every one of us, each one of us, to be successful. Here we find, and here I did find, a lot of systematic approach towards life, discipline and coordination, and a kind of a very good, very healthy teacher-student relationship which is not there in India. In India, students are cocooned within that incapacitated ensnarement of inhibition, that teachers are someone who you cannot communicate with, and teachers do a lot of teachers talking time, TTT. And I've learned the biggest lesson in my life, that it is not the teacher who is supposed to show off or to boast about what he knows. he needs to engage his students into constructive activity. So it's the students who need to work on and not the teachers.
Okay, and do you think that you'll be able to take that back with you, or will there be resistance?
Yes, there will be stiff resistance, ma'am. There will be stiff resistance, so stiff that I will not be able to fight this particular battle alone. But I will try my very bit. You know, it is often said in India that you should be the first one to lead the others into battle and the last one to leave the field. So that is what I'm trying to do. And if I do face resistance, I'll have to fight, I'll have to put myself against it and try to rationalize people to understand the very basic fact that education should be taken very seriously. The way it is conducted out here in England is wonderful, and India should get modernized in terms of education, in terms of remolding itself and its structure, educational structure, to provide a better understanding to the students. It's all about students, it's not about teachers. It's all about students and their performance in the longer run.
And if you had a message for English people?
Please respect your elders, and please, please, please be privileged and realize the fact that you are in the best of conditions. Do not misuse the conditions that you have, because the conditions that you have, the privileges that you have, the advantages that you get, which is served on a dish towards you, please accept it, and please do make sure that you make a worthwhile life. Thank you.
Nice message.
Yes.
Just one more question. You've been on the intensive five-week course.
Yes.
In a new society, new culture, you've had to learn new things on the course and so on and so forth. So how have you found all of that?
Initially, when I came down to England, it was my first air flight. And when I came down to England and came all the way to Plymouth in a 5-hour bus drive, and I just settled in, I found that it was very difficult in terms of communicating with people, because there is a kind of an English etiquette of being a little indifferent towards you and giving you that space and individuality. But very fast, within weeks, I made lots of friends, lots of them, and they were all there with open arms in order to accept me in the system, in the society. And now I feel very sad leaving England and going back, but I'll definitely come back and do my diploma.
And for the course and the learning, what message do you have for future people who want to come on the intensive course?
It's a very good course. It's a very intensive course in the literal sense of the term, and you need to be very focused, you need to be very hardworking, you need to have that particular kind of a resilience and perseverance if you want to go through the course. And it's really worth going through the intensive course, because if you can spend a year, you can spend 6 months doing the same course, but I feel that if you come into this intensive course, it will inspire you how to take on to tasks, how to execute those tasks with a kind of a precision that will be moduled into you, inculcated into you by your teachers. And the teachers are wonderful here, wonderful. They're more than teachers. They're friends, they're teachers, they're your mentors, they're your patrons, they're everything. Believe me, if you really want to do well, get into the intensive course.
Okay. Thank you very much, PRIYADARSHI, and best of luck in the future.
Yes, and I got this.
Okay, yeah, well done. See you in 2 years' time.
Yes, I will be there.
Yeah.